Are you?
You're not, but yeah.
Let's not do that until after.
Me? Yeah. Well, whenever we're ready to go.
We are live, actually.
Oh, we are.
We are
Wow.
actually currently.
Welcome back to Helmets and Headbands. Not sure what episode this is.
should be.
6 or 7?
Well, no, it's like 17.
Oh,
17,
remember?
18?
It is. 17 or
I'm gonna
18?
say 18. I haven't seen an 8 in a while, and I feel
Yeah.
like I've seen
Okay.
a 7.
17 or 18. But yeah. Welcome back to Helmets and Headbands. We are here to give you the latest and greatest in football and
Always.
basketball. What are you doing?
What's on my fucking forehead?
Dude, is it a
I don't
freckle?
know. That
What
looks like a
the-
It's a
freckle
piece of dead skin,
or a
dude.
scab.
Dude, what the fuck is on my forehead? If you're a doctor or anyone, dude, that looks like blood.
Yeah, you picked off a scab, it
Picked
looks
some.
like.
All right, we're a sports show.
Well,
Zinger.
here we are. We're going to start off every episode like we do and do our weekend winners. So,
Would you like me to go first?
yeah,
I wanna go
Jared,
first.
who do you have for your weekend winner?
I had, it's pretty obvious and it makes sense, but that's what
Shake.
it makes sense to me and it makes sense to everyone else. It's the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. Back to another Super Bowl.
I know.
When
it's ridiculous.
when you become a franchise like they are, like
A dynasty?
you're waiting, just like LeBron, you're waiting for that time where you can see the edge, like
Yeah,
start
seriously.
to, refine down. They start to lose some of those close games and they start to, the age starts to be shown in their stars like Brady. And it's just right now that system is just rolling. And no matter if they're down by 15, 20, they're always in the game because they go through the practices. They have the system built to where everyone trusts everybody. And it's just,
It's beautiful, really.
On
it's
down
really
the
nice.
line.
It's really everyone
Even the
everyone
reserves.
loves to like talk shit and say they don't like the Patriots. I admire greatness, especially
Yep.
when it's at this level. I mean,
Yep.
you're just a sucker if you like hate when you see. I mean, obviously,
Seriously.
if the Bears were more relevant, I would probably have a different opinion because if we were losing to them, and obviously it would have to be the Super Bowl because it's a different conference. But still, man, they're doing something that not a lot of franchises in all of sports do. So.
And they've been doing it since like 1999. So just
Back
like the
again.
Spurs,
Yeah.
it's like the Spurs and the
Consistency.
Patriots have been the cornerstone
Parallels, yeah.
and I mean like in Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama too.
Of our lifetimes, I feel like those. I mean, obviously
Those
we
are
were
the big
alive
hitters.
when like Jordan.
The Bulls
Well, I don't know if
and-
Kid was, but we were just little.
Yeah.
I mean, by
Wasn't
the
as-
time he retired the second time in '98, I was only 8 years
Yeah,
old.
that's what I
so,
mean. We were still pretty young by then.
Yeah, I have vivid I can see little glimpses. I remember seeing glimpses of games when I was little, but I couldn't put any of it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, my weekend winner is the loser of that game, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and
Interesting take.
just for the sheer fact that they got as far as they did. People know that the defense for them as well, but everybody underestimates Blake Bortles and his ability, which granted, I mean, he went 23 for 36.
He played great.
But he only had one touchdown.
He was limited by his offensive coordinator, was what it seemed
True.
like in the second half. But
Yeah, for sure. It seems like the offensive coordinator kind of stalled
Got
out, got conservative, got worried.
can't do that with the Patriots.
No, you have to keep playing however you did that first half and can keep drilling it to them because they were through the first half there, you could see that they were very they were Fournette was just driving it,
Yeah.
and then
He had
they
a
would
couple
do a
of good
play
runs.
action, get a pass off, and they had such a good rhythm going that it just blew my mind how stagnant they were in the second half. But the fact that they got to the AFC Championship game, granted,
Shit.
everybody thought that when they got to the playoffs, they were done the first round.
Yeah, they were a team that was just pretty one-dimensional.
Very one-dimensional.
Defense,
And we don't have to reiterate all the smack talk that has been said about Blake Bortles.
Yeah,
And, I mean,
feel bad for the guy.
I feel
Like,
I
I
do
like
too.
him.
I mean, he's playing in the
He's-
NFL. Obviously, he's not that bad.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, he's a starter in the NFL. Some
For
people
sure.
just hate. I mean, he had some tough games in the regular season, but
Yes, but I mean,
he didn't turn
everybody
the ball.
has-
I don't
everybody
think he
has
turned the
tons-
ball over at all in the playoffs.
No,
Which is what
nope.
you need your quarterback to do, and at least he got him there. You know,
Yeah.
like you said.
But yeah, I think they overachieved this year for sure. They went way farther than anybody expected them to. They rallied behind their quarterback, showed what a team game football really is. And, I mean, coaching obviously comes into play. And you see that in the AFC Championship game when you go up against a team that is ran
Just so well
like
greased,
the Patriots.
yeah, well-oiled machine.
But, I mean, for what they did and how far they got, I mean, I'm picking them as my weekend winner. Because, I mean, will they be able to duplicate it next year? I don't know.
That division, think about the quarterbacks that aren't in that division this year. Deshaun Watson and Andrew Luck both get hurt. Dude, that division's turned into some that in the Titans making the playoffs. I mean, that's going to be an interesting division moving forward, I think.
For sure.
Well, those are our weekend winners, Kid.
Yeah,
Who do you
Kid,
think
what's
the
up?
ultimate
boy, oh
winner?
boy, oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Who to pick?
For those
Who
of
to
you
pick,
that
who to
don't
pick.
know, kind of explain what we're doing right now. I guess I didn't
They
say
leave it
that.
up to me. They let me pick.
Yeah.
They give me X, and they give me X, and they tell me which one to decide who won the weekend.
Really, who won it?
Really,
Yep.
who won this weekend? Obviously, New England Patriots.
You got
I do. I love
Got it.
Lip's arguments here. I side with him. The future of the Jags is great. I mean,
Yeah.
look at that defense.
Yeah,
Oh my
defense
gosh. And they're
swagger.
they're rowdy.
Yeah.
They're young.
Yeah.
swag.
And they
dude.
got some stank.
They got beat, yeah.
dude. like that's not. Oh,
Dude, the Thunder are messing up the Wizards right
But-
now.
I gotta go with the Patriots. Obviously won the weekend. They're I'm not gonna say obviously win the Super Bowl, but it's
the
look,
favorite.
dude.
It's basically a foregone
we
conclusion.
I
go-
think they were
yeah.
5, 6.
I got the
5 or 6
screen here.
points or
Actually,
I'm
Really
sure you guys
favorite.
saw the meme. I mean, Tom Brady already had that surgery where he got his sixth
Wore his
finger
sixth
and
finger so he
for
could
the
put his-
sixth ring.
Yeah, Philadelphia is a +5 points.
That's not bad though, because I mean those high championship games, they aren't normally blowouts. They're usually
Yeah.
pretty close games. So, and I think the Eagles' defense.
Oh my
Is
gosh, they just
something-
smothered him.
I mean, they smothered the Vikings, in which the Vikings came out in that first drive, scored that first touchdown, and I'm
Yep.
pretty sure they had like 3 or 4. They went boom, 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 touchdown.
They
and you're
looked-
like, wow, the Vikings are gonna roll through.
They're
this team.
looking good, and I'm pretty sure in our group chat we said somebody
Dude,
said
I
something to Zorb
texted-
like, "Dude, this is starting off
Our buddy
like
Zorb
good."
is- Zorb's a huge Vikings fan.
No,
Yeah.
Zorb.
And especially after that victory the week before on that last second bomb against the Saints, I think that just takes so much out of a team.
Yep.
And then they got to go in and play the Eagles at home, which is people forget is the number 1 seed in the NFC. With Carson Wentz, they were one of the best teams in the NFL. And
Yeah.
now they're on a second string quarterback.
You want to know
playing
something?
The Patriots in the Super Bowl.
You want to know? I ran into a dilemma with the Vikings because I was rooting for them because of Zorb.
Oh.
But then when I was at Mitch's place watching the game,
house.
me, Maddie, Ben, Mitch, Leah.
What's up?
I don't
The
think
dog?
Alex James was there.
Dog? Was there a dog
No,
there?
no. His place you can't
Any
have a dog.
animal? What else?
But
Yeah,
we're all
the
chilling
dog.
there watching, and I forgot Ian likes the Vikings. Ian Flynn.
Oh my.
Skiing Ian.
So then I found myself rooting against. I was like, part of me was like, damn, I feel so bad for Zorb. Like the Vikings got crushed. That sucks.
So
but then
many
I was
Bud
like,
Lights.
I'm so glad
So
Ian's
many
team
Bud
lost.
Lights
So it
got
was a
lost.
weird love and hate thing I was going through when
Yeah.
they lost.
I hear you.
No, but I just think after a team goes through something that, I mean, they celebrated like they had won the Super Bowl
Yeah.
after that game, rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah.
Dude.
but
Then
no,
they
I
get-
liked the Vikings even if the Vikings were in this game. But it's hard to say because when they
I was
played
happy with
head-to-head-
all 4 teams. I would have been glad with any outcome any combination of those four, I would have been cool with. Because when was the last time you saw the Philly in there, the Vikings,
With
and Jags who've never
McNabb
been there?
And
Yeah.
that's when they had McNabb and like T.O.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
I
had
mean,
a good defense that year,
and
too.
when-
Again,
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'm just saying.
who do you like
Any
in that
four
game?
of the
Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't think the
For-
Eagles
dude,
are gonna
there was-
win.
From what I saw today, there was a guy, a well-known gambler in Vegas, just put, I believe, a couple $1 million on the Eagles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Dude,
they're
have
the
some-
under.
Plus, I
because
think
they're
he got
the,
him at
weapons.
+6 though.
they're the
realize-
underdog.
But at
Of course, you're gonna put the money on them because if you win,
the
like,
Patriots
the
seem to
payout's
play
gonna be
close
better.
games in championship games.
They have.
They have
So,
been in close
They
games.
haven't really had blowouts.
If you put $1 million
last year
on the
when
Patriots,
I heard on, I want to say it was the Dan Levitard show last week. Last year when they beat the Falcons, that was their largest margin of victory ever in the Super Bowl. Last year, and they didn't even beat them by that
Patriots?
much. Yeah, they haven't won by that
By
many. Like
more.
if you look, most of their
Yeah.
wins are by like 3 points
Field
or less.
goals
They're
and
all
I-
by field
dude,
goals.
that's why it's +5. Vegas
That's what I
got
mean.
it at.
Yeah.
I would have taken that +6, and I could see why. But I think it's been ticking down
And
lately.
you don't agree with me on that over/under?
now
Dude,
now
I
that
think
now
it's
that
gonna
we've
be
been
a
talking, now we've
scorcher.
talked about it a little bit.
Dude, they're gonna score so
the
many
over/under is what,
points.
48? You said.
It's
crazy.
only 48.5 points.
And you got to think, even
Jeez.
the Jaguars, the Jags and
Over.
Patriots put up 44 together, and
Yeah.
the Jags are not a good.
The
offense.
over under is what?
48
48.
in
I
a
bet
championship
it'll
game.
be that.
Again, like you were saying, the Eagles have a shitload of weapons.
It's gonna be
to deal
It's
with.
gonna be 36-24. Boom.
Oh, dude. Yep. I'm
in
gonna write
favor
these down.
of. I don't know. I could see the Eagles winning easily.
Dude, I can see that.
Not
dude,
easy.
their
I know I shouldn't have
defense.
said easy.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I think the Eagles' defense is.
So you're
is
saying
championship worthy.
36-24 Eagles.
Oh no! Don't.
We're
do
putting it down.
I already
We're
put
putting
it
it down.
down. I already penned
You're
it.
the one who threw out the score, dude.
Is that no? You can redo it, but let's do this. I want to do it, and then we'll see whose
Score
prediction came in the
Yeah, we'll
like.
have a little bet on it.
I got a good number.
Okay, so is that what you want, or do you want to rethink of it?
No,
Okay,
I
he's
want-
rethinking.
I want. Damn it!
I'm gonna go with 33-21 Patriots.
Huh?
I just think it'll be a close game. I just don't see it coming down to the wire again. Like especially with Nick Foles as the
I
quarterback.
feel like the doors are getting blown off, and it's gonna be Patriots.
For some reason, I like to see 33. That's a good number for me.
am going
This is-
to go 35-24.
You're copying me, dude. You're copying me, dude. You just
Well,
added two
how-
to each one.
How I added
I'm
3. How different do you want me to make it?
Yeah, you got it, dude. That's.
I was gonna
that's-
go under on both of them.
Here we go.
What do you got for us?
I don't think they're gonna score.
It's gonna be Patriots 46.
Whoa.
Wait, is
Jesus.
Gronk out? Is Gronk
No,
out?
he's gonna play, dude. I'm telling you, it's a head injury.
Yep, he's good.
He's
And-
coming back,
and he's
Yeah,
like
he's
literally
playing.
Yeah, with like 2 weeks rest.
Yeah, he's coming back.
So what are you doing?
Patriots 46.
What are they
Oh
scoring?
my God!
What
Look
are
at
the-
the last
Eagles,
time?
Eagles are scoring
I'm telling you, championship
24.
Games, man.
There's gonna
Championship
be
games
no.
are never that high.
The defense will be left on the bus. No,
I
it'll be-
went
All
with
right.
35-20 Patriots.
All right, they're all down. We'll talk about them when we'll see who's closest.
Dude, it looks like the most points ever scored by a team in Super Bowl history is
The Broncos from 2015.
Dallas
Dang.
in 1993.
Didn't
with
they score a lot
52?
in 2015?
52. Wow.
Wasn't it 51 in 2015?
Let's. I got you right.
Didn't
here.
the Broncos
The
get
85 Bears scored a
No,
lot, too.
didn't the Broncos
No.
get smoked
The Broncos got
with-
demolished by,
in 2014 by
Seahawks.
the Seahawks?
They got crushed.
What was the score that year?
That was
50
43-8.
Oh.
The Seahawks. said-
Damn,
the
43-8.
Seahawks
That was
left
such
Peyton Manning's
a
junk arm.
shitty game to watch towards the end.
I think
felt so
one
bad.
of the first plays was when he got sacked for a safety. Peyton
Gosh,
Manning
it was
did.
ridiculous. That was when the Legion of
when he
Boom
got
was.
sacked for a safety.
Yes.
I remember
it was
I
the
had a
first play of the
Super Bowl
game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And everybody with Super Bowl squares were like, Oh.
2-0.
Yeah.
Dude,
Zero's
that-
good, but-
No, it just
That's-
throws a wrench.
Yeah.
in
Oh yeah, it
messes
absolutely
the
does.
numbers.
Because then those
crazy.
even numbers that you think are going to be good aren't anymore.
We gotta set one of those up. But anyway,
What we
But
got for let's get. So that's pretty much everything coming on with the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Obviously, everybody watched Super Bowl. I'm interested to see Justin Timberlake. I think he's a talented dude at the halftime show.
hell
so
yeah,
it'll be
I
fun
love
to watch.
JT.
I thought it was Pink.
He's dope. I don't
No,
know.
I think it's I heard JT.
It'd be dope if
They're
it's
probably
Justin
like
Timberlake.
they
He's
do
a good,
a couple.
He's a good artist all around. Like,
Dude,
Am
they
I
have so
wrong?
many prop bets on those.
I have no.
Oh,
idea.
they do
too.
like the
you can
national
bet, like,
anthem.
will he ever be
Yeah.
lifted off
Yeah,
the ground?
it's
or
true.
Like,
I see they have
I
some
love
crazy prop bets.
how many minutes it'll go?
Yep.
Imagine, put some chunk of money on that.
That'd be so
5 mil.
random.
And like call the people and be like, hey, take a little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit longer. If you
Hey,
don't think that
yeah.
happens,
Hey,
then-
yeah, rip her bra off.
Yeah. Get a Janet Jackson.
That'd be
rebirth.
weird. Oh yeah, that was Janet Jackson and JT. That's crazy. That's funny.
Was it?
Oh, it was
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
see, it all
He
comes
ripped off
around.
that
It's
nipple
like a
thing.
circle, man.
That was crazy.
He's
But yeah, moving into kind of our teams, kind of the outlook for like the Titans and the Bears. With the Titans, they hired Mike Vrabel.
Oh yeah, former.
He was the offensive coordinator, or he was the
former
defensive
Patriots.
coordinator for the Houston. Why am I spacing
Texans,
on the
Dynamo.
Texans? Yep.
Rockets.
And yeah, he was the
Astros.
linebacker. He was the linebacker for the Patriots. Won
he was
3
a good
Super
li-
Bowls
he
with
was,
them.
He was a good linebacker.
And
Very
like
smart.
I personally, as a Titans fan, I am excited about that hire. I feel like, I mean, I know he didn't coach with Belichick, but he was in that organization for so long that I know a lot of the coaches that are
He
under
got touched
Belichick
by
that
the
go on,
magic.
they
Yeah.
they are successful. And I hope that he is one of the people that paid
Mhm.
attention while he was during his tenure there. And I think he's going to bring something to the Titans that is good. And
He's
he
gonna bring
wants
his
to.
body.
One of the main things he said was he wanted to have a good connection with Mariota, like building he wanted to have a really good relationship with Mariota.
like going to
and-
Sizzler.
And I like Mariota,
movies
even though he's a
together
li-
and-
and
He's
even though he's a
gonna-
little injury prone,
It's
I
gonna
like
be interesting
Mariota.
to see how long Mariota sticks around. You know,
Yeah,
because he's
Tennessee.
not.
He had a
like-
down year. He's not. He didn't blow
Yeah.
your
he's-
hair
yeah.
back with
No.
anything he
He
did.
doesn't suck.
But
he doesn't
I
suck.
think-
He doesn't suck, but he's not nearly what
No.
he was supposed
But
to be.
I
Neither is
think-
Jameis Winston.
But I think
That
with
draft
the
was-
playoff berth for him, I
Helps
think
him
that
out.
could help his confidence, and maybe we'll see a step
But
up
again,
this
like I
next
said
season.
with the Jags, dude, that division is going to be, it's just only going to get tougher because
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson and Andrew Luck back and that Jaguars defense, they ain't going anywhere. They're going to be
Yeah.
looking for a quarterback.
and that's
this
what I
year.
want.
That's
our-
a tough division
I want the Titans to develop their defense a little bit better.
because they're going to be, they had to go
They
against
need
Deshaun
to.
Watson twice.
They need a better defense to go up against the QBs that are in that.
They do.
division.
They do. I
Like,
agree.
Plain and simple. I mean, I think we have an all right enough offense that if you
The running
slowly,
game's strong,
Yeah.
above average, I'd say.
and if you can develop Mariota to be able to throw
You just need
downfield
something
and not
else
so
besides
much
Delaney.
side.
It's all Delaney.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean,
so much side to side.
Yeah.
And if you can get him to be able to see downfield and read his
It's not very
coverages
vertical.
and his options better, yeah, that would be good.
But yeah, and so I'll get into the Bears. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, like we've said, it's going to be tough outlook for the Titans just
Yeah.
because of that division. But
But
at least
good
he made
year,
the playoffs.
and I'm
yeah.
pumped with the year that we had.
Yeah. Now, and the Bears wasn't necessarily as good, but it's kind of what we thought it would be. John Fox fired for, I think it's Matt Nagy. I don't really know how to say his name exactly. Nagy, I believe it is. Everything I'm hearing about this guy, everything I've seen on Twitter, reactions when he was hired was extremely positive. Offensive coordinator of
Yeah.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
If he was
if
here.
you see the way the Chiefs have drafted in the last couple of years, their offense has become. Look at all the firepower they have in their offense now. So
yeah,
drafted
seriously.
Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill,
Tyreek Hill
Travis
is so
Kelce.
fast.
So that that offense is obviously his intellect and what he's putting forth in that offense obviously had an impact. So much so that now he's the head coach of the Bears. And the head coach of the Bears is such like to Bears fans, like obviously to every fan base, but like it like means something, you know.
Yeah.
Like we really stood behind Lovie Smith and Tressman and John Fox.
The
we really
Bears
did.
are a diehard fan base, and when they are your when I've noticed when you are either playing for them or coaching for them, the fans are 100%
They're like a part of our lives.
are
almost.
100% behind the players
Absolutely.
and the coaching staff
until you outstay your welcome.
mess it up. Because even Cutler for a couple years, I remember trying to say something to Log about how he wasn't good, and he would bust
defend
out
him.
some stuff and
Yeah.
defend him, and it's like, okay, well maybe he isn't that bad then, and the Bears have a loyal fan base and following.
Yeah, and I think now we have a guy who's I believe it's his first tenure as head coach, so he's really going to go head first into this, trying to obviously be as good as he can, and hired the offensive coordinator from Oregon University, guy who used to work under Chip Kelly, Mark Helfrich, some weird last names to remember, but so I think we're, as far as staff wise, we're getting a lot pushed into the offensive side of the ball, because that's definitely what we needed. We were still lagging through the John Fox era of our offense not being that great, but we have great playmakers on defense. I think the defense is fine. It can be tweaked. Obviously, it always can be, but we had great draft picks. We have great playmakers on defense. Now we just need the development of Mitch Trubisky, and both Nagy and Helfrich love Trubisky. That's one of the biggest reasons why we hired Nagy, was because of his admiration towards, Trubisky.
And that's awesome.
And learning alongside of him,
And that's awesome that they already liked him going into it.
Before Nagy was even hired, I believe he was quoted as saying in the draft he really liked Trubisky.
Really?
And where I believe the Chiefs took Mahomes, but they were definitely in the camp of the Trubisky camp. So
nice.
I mean, I'm always optimistic when it comes to the Bears. I'm never one of those guys who's like, "Oh, we suck, man." I always like to see
nothing
the good
but
side
ups
of things.
for both of our franchises.
So, I'm really, really.
Do you like
really
the Bears, kid?
Yes, I'm a Chicago sports
really,
fan.
really interested to see what the offseason brings as far as the draft and free agents, but need a wide receiver. But I love the way we're headed.
Yeah. Now, what is one thing? This is just something quick that I thought of. One thing that you're looking forward to about the 2018 season for the NFL, and that can be anything like team related.
Dude, I've mentioned it a couple times. Deshaun Watson.
He
showed us in a couple of games before he got injured. He is not only extremely, extremely athletic, but he's smart. His poise when he talks in the media.
Yeah.
I saw it when he was at Clemson. I wondered, because our other one of our hosts of our other shows, Log, he's a huge Clemson fan, and I used to watch all the games with him, and I was like, man, there's just something about this kid, Deshaun Watson. He knows how to win. He beats Alabama, the best of the best in college football.
Yeah.
So he brought that poise and that championship mentality and that winning mentality to a Houston Texans team they were right on the edge, man.
Yeah.
They were right on the edge, and they have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Lamar Miller. They have some good pieces too.
They have good, solid.
That's a good
offensive
team.
pieces.
Their defense is better. J.J. Watt's going to be healthy again next year, so I'm interested to see the Houston Texans, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
What are you looking forward to?
One thing that I
Both
was
of you
kind
guys.
of I guess looking forward to it is kind of I'm looking forward to Garoppolo and his development in San Francisco. I'm really interested to see how he plays a full season.
Transition from a backup to a starter.
I
got something
want
for
to
you.
see that.
Fill in the blank. Jimmy
Okay.
Garoppolo will win a Super Bowl in blank years.
Ooh. I like the question.
Well, I see a thing.
I'm
that,
going to say
the 49ers
it's
have
going to be
$100 million.
it's going to be
The
They have
49ers
huge
have
cap space.
They have $100 million in cap space.
dude.
So they can be with more
The
than
over-under
100.
would be
they
like
have over $100 million.
5.5. I'd take the under.
I'm gonna say 5 to 7 years.
I would say I'm going to the lower end. I want 4 or 5. I legitimately
4
think
years he's winning a Super Bowl.
in a
or
Super Bowl.
makes
I think
Let's say in a Super
within
Bowl.
3 to 4, he's in legitimate playoff
Contention.
contention. 5
Dude, didn't
to
he win
6,
out?
he's winning. He won the last 5
Yeah,
games.
he
of
was
the 49ers.
he was phenomenal for them,
Yeah.
and they didn't even have their roster this year was basically built to tank,
Yeah.
and then they bring in this free agent quarterback who just basically
Dominated.
takes away a
And
bunch
they
of their
have a
draft
good- they
spots,
have a-
but then they're like, hell yeah, look who we
I
got.
really like him.
They have a
How
young
can you
coach.
not? How can you not like a guy who sat behind the best quarterback in NFL history for, I think it was 4 years, learned under him? What other quarterback did that and became one of the best in the NFL? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And if you're in the Patriots organization, under the best coach of all time and the best quarterback of all time, and you have this project that everybody loves in that organization.
Yeah.
If I was any other team, I would have done everything to get Garoppolo.
Seriously.
He's more valuable than a first round pick, the number 1 pick in my opinion. So that's
he's
a great
already
answer.
developed. There's no reason you would hold on to that number 1 pick when you have to waste the time developing that rookie.
When he's
this guy's already developed, he's ready to go.
He knows the game. He learned
He's
behind
in the prime.
And look who he learned behind.
Seriously.
So, what am I looking forward to, guys?
Yeah.
Let's talk free agents. How about that?
Love it.
Kirk Cousins, where's he?
Yep.
Jeez.
Good point.
Oh,
Good point.
man. Do you think you can
Jags.
legitimately build around him?
Jags. You don't necessarily need to build around him, but a team that got as close as the Jags
Give
did.
him something good.
Give him
Just-
some.
He
Give him
could
a
put him
dope
over the
defense
edge, for sure.
Allen
Yeah.
Robinson healthy again. I don't know, with Fournette as the running back. I like Kirk Cousins on the Jags.
Also, Devontae Adams is going to be on free agency as well.
Sticky
Probably
hands
getting
McGee, dude.
Picked up again. But
That's crazy.
Sticky hands McGee.
Who else?
Kind of crazy that they're bringing back the XFL also.
Oh, that is wild.
Gimmick free, but it's pretty in 2020.
Gimmick-free.
Couple
Is
years.
that what it says?
Yeah, it says McMahon. He says
Gimmick free my ass. Vince
So-
McMahon, the gimmick of all gimmicks.
Seriously. But yeah, I mean, other than that, another thing I wanted to ask you guys and myself, I will input mine as well.
Shit, it's still on me.
Who for fantasy football, kind of transitioning into the fantasy portion here, who was a standout player either for your
I've said
team
the same
personally
thing. I always say the same guy.
Or-
'cause he did it.
somebody that you saw like even on another team or something?
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin
Period.
Kamara.
Standout guy, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That nose ring wearing.
That
Yeah.
little Uzi Vert
He's a
looking
beast.
son of a
Dude,
bitch.
he's
Tore it up, man.
He's a
Good.
baller. Mine.
Basically single-handedly won me the championship because
Yeah.
he was in my flex.
he was a waiver pickup.
Yeah, he was a
Probably
waiver pickup.
99.9% leagues.
He was
Had
getting
to-
drafted. He was a flyer.
was he?
Last round.
Oh,
Like
okay.
last round. Or
like I
some
just
that-
need
rookie
to,
running
he was
back.
a filler.
You're like,
Yeah,
He's
some
a filler,
like
and you're
Saints
hoping
fan.
maybe he'll give you something here and there.
I picked him
not
up week
what you
2
did.
off waivers, and
Oh.
it basically won me the title.
Who-
For me, I took a big risk and drafted him really early, and he balled, and a lot
Oh,
of people
yeah.
weren't thinking
AP.
about it. No, Todd Gurley.
Oh, Gurley. That was a risky one that did pay off. Big time.
I like he had a
Big time.
stand. He had a good year and then a real bad second year, I believe. And this year they were predicting he would have an upside, and last year was a fluke. And so I was like, you
the
know
new
what?
coaching staff helps
Yeah.
dramatically.
And
for
I
his
said, screw it.
confidence.
I'm going for it. And with us in a PPR league, all those little screens that
crushed
dip
it.
out to him.
And in the fantasy playoffs, he got you like almost 50.
Yeah.
That
I
one
mean, I
game,
want to say he averaged like close to 30 points a game.
He killed it. He just got so many touches.
Yeah.
He just touched
So
the
many
ball
touches.
a lot.
He touched it a lot. Yep.
Kid.
And he got it down in the red zone. Like
Oh,
constantly.
yeah.
So
They
he was
just-
scoring TDs left and right. Like I want to say one game he had like 4 or 5 touchdowns. But yeah,
About it.
what about you, kid? Who was a standout player for you?
Let's see. A standout player on my team.
Yeah, standout
Or
or
just
just somebody
one-
or just
yeah.
somebody that was
The definition
an
of-
unexpected scorer
the
for you. That
definition
you
of
were like,
standout.
damn, he's actually
Oh
balling
my
out. You know?
gosh. Yeah, this is no question at all.
That's what
Zach
I mean, it was-
Ertz.
Oh,
Zach
Ertz.
Ertz. ESPN said
Damn.
they said quit
Wow.
and I quote, quit pretending Zach Ertz was going to be an elite tight end.
Yeah.
Look what he did.
My ass.
Dude.
Huge.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
He had like 10 and 10 every game. Like
Yeah.
10 catches,
10,
100
dude.
yards. Like
Packed
every
it
single
in.
game.
I don't know what he finished.
I
at
know
the
it's
end,
starting
but-
to. There's starting to be other tight ends that are showing you some upper
Yeah.
echelon skill other than Jimmy Graham and Gronk.
Yeah.
like
Travis
there are other
Kelce.
options out there for
Travis
fantasy.
Kelce.
For fantasy now, and when it comes to the tight end, it's not like you have to kind of reach to get one. You can.
Yeah.
There's
And
one there.
It's swinging
Ertz-
that way.
Ertz was a late round tight end.
Yeah.
He was going
Oh,
as like
scooped him up
between like
super
8 and
late.
10 tight end.
Travis
so like
Kelce,
people just
another part of that Chiefs
that's
offense
what I mean.
you were
dude,
saying
Matt
that's
Nagy,
just
baby. I'm looking forward to it.
he's a beast.
But let's get some NBA. There's a lot of
Yeah.
awesome stuff in the NBA.
Transitioning.
Super fun NBA shit. I love NBA
Transition.
All-Star Weekend. I
Yep.
will first off say that.
It's fun.
I told
Curry's
La-
out of the 3-point contest.
I literally told Lacey like a few days ago, I'm like, hey, just to let you know, during NFL or NBA All-Star
gone.
Weekend, I'm
He's
not
peeing.
leaving the house.
Really?
Like I want to watch everything. It's just like I'm such an NBA head that like when it comes
fun.
down to, I love watching all of it.
I love that they're mixing up the teams and having.
I love
East
the
and
teams.
West
That's
and,
what.
like,
That's
the whole
what.
drafting thing. It's kind of cool.
The majority of the NBA segment, we're just gonna shoot the shit about the All Stars and the starters and the reserves and the whole picking of the teams. And so Team LeBron, it was just actually released.
Yep.
As it broke during when we shot our Under the Basket show live earlier, that they actually had the final lineups of each team. So this year, the captains, per se, the two biggest vote getters were LeBron and Curry, Steph Curry.
He got Oladipo on there too, LeBron.
Yeah, so they were basically doing like a snake draft style, or not snake draft, like schoolyard. Like I pick you, he picks you. I pick you, he picks you. So they had the pick from the 10 starters first, and then a pick from the, I can't remember how many reserves there are, like 14 or something like that, between the reserves. And one big part of this whole draft thing that everybody's been wondering why was why didn't they film it? Because it just came out. And even LeBron just tweeted earlier.
Yeah, that was fun.
He was like,
man.
yo, that was fun, Steph. We got to do that again. Needs to be televised.
It will be.
Like the players wanted it. I think it was just one of those things that management didn't want, and like the owners didn't want the drama that could possibly come from it.
Yeah, but
what
as drama?
You can see,
it would just be fun for
what drama? You could definitely get some storylines out of who was picked last. Why didn't LeBron pick Kyrie first? Or you know what I mean? All these, dude, I'm telling you,
that's
all these
just
diva
nonsense.
It is though, dude. The media will take that and run forever with
goodness.
it. They will
Run off into the distance.
Like,
Are we considered
like
the media?
we are considered the
That's
media.
kind of crazy.
We're not professional.
Well,
media,
no, we're not professional by any
We
means.
are the media. So I'm just gonna run through the teams, and we can kind of just jab at each.
I want to hear it.
So Team LeBron, in no specific order, ironically he does have Kyrie Irving, which I thought was cool. Kevin Durant. These are the starters: Kyrie, Kevin Durant, LeBron, obviously. Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. So they have both the Pelicans big men.
And
That's
they got the John
dangerous-
Wall. They got the John Wall Bradley Beal combo.
Yep, they got Bradley Beal, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love. People were wondering if LeBron was going to pick Kevin Love too, just because of all the controversy that's been going on with the Cavs this week and stuff. But Russell Westbrook,
seriously.
Victor Oladipo, Porzingis, John Wall. So LeBron's got a pretty well-rounded squad.
Yeah.
He has Westbrook on the bench. I mean,
I know, it's crazy.
Oladipo's had an awesome season. Some people think he deserved
a
starting bid. I
Oladipo
think so. He's been great.
Balling.
Then we'll run through Steph's, and we'll just see what sticks out to us. Steph Curry, obviously, is starting point guard. James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, Draymond, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Al Horford. So he did pick both of his teams. No, they won't release the order. Or at least they haven't yet. That's in no specific order.
Yeah.
So
it says Draymond demands trade if Steph doesn't take him first. They all start.
But no, that is funny because people were wondering if Steph was going to take both of his teammates, and he did, which doesn't, or except for he didn't get Durant, which makes me think Durant went 1. Don't you think?
He did.
Oh.
James had the first pick, and
I bet LeBron
they were
picked KD.
predicting KD to go number.
I bet he
one.
went. I bet he went 1 to.
I'm
LeBron.
sure he did.
So what else sticks out to you guys about those lists and just the starters and reserves or anything in general?
I really like that Victor Oladipo got on there.
Yeah, that's huge.
Beast.
I think that's cool. Can we just mention like anybody that we think got snubbed right now?
Well, you mentioned Victor
also?
Oladipo. I
Like,
mean,
no, that's a good one, but like, it's shocking to me with how much he's stepped up. How much he's stepped up this year. One, I heard Paul George was upset that he didn't get picked.
True.
Which
I could
he's
see
had
it.
a good year. I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but I feel
They're not
like
terrible.
but I feel like he hasn't really done like Paul
the
George like
only-
things to where it's like
He
Only
plays
person
with Russell Westbrook.
averaging 2 steals and 3 3-pointers.
like
a game.
I don't know. I
shit.
wouldn't consider him
That's an
snubbed. It's
interesting
like
stat.
you just didn't
I think
get
it's a
picked
snub.
this year.
Dude,
I think-
Pick it up next year,
there's
bud.
what, 600 guys in the NBA, and what, 50
You know who really
50
got
of
snubbed?
them are amazing.
Lou Williams. He
Yeah.
has been balling
But
this
it hasn't
year.
been of recently though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
He's not playing
recently.
starter. No, that's what I mean. Only up until recently.
Yeah.
you just don't think of Lou as an all-star though.
You don't.
You don't wake up and
No.
put on a Lou.
He's a
Williams.
great player.
You don't
Great.
think of
Incredible.
really Victor Oladipo either, but he's on there. That's what's crazy.
But
Victor
now that he's
Oladipo's
got,
having-
he's, in
he's
He's having a
Indiana,
good year.
He's having one of the best.
He's got his own team.
He's
dude.
shooting. Yeah,
he's
he's
got
Yeah.
his own
team.
canvas to
Yeah.
paint, and he is doing
He's
it.
Picasso.
Yeah,
dude.
he's starting
Freaking
to do it.
I
This
like
is the
him.
first year he's really done it.
No, he
He's
did
been-
it with the Magic. It's I'm telling you, alongside of
Or
Russell.
no, oh my gosh, I'm confusing Victor Oladipo and
I was gonna say you were going
Paul
hard on my
Zipser?
dude Victor.
no, I like
Paul
Victor
Zipser.
Oladipo. I liked Victor Oladipo. I was honestly
you were going hard
confusing.
on Victor.
I
like,
was
man.
confusing him with Alfred Payton of the Magic.
Oh,
I was.
goofy floppy.
Oh
hair
my
Payton.
gosh, I can't believe I did that.
They were teammates though, so that makes sense.
I was really.
No, he did
confused there.
good.
Yeah,
He
my
did-
bad.
he did
yeah,
good in
Victor
Orlando.
Oladipo deserves
He's
it
a
way
ball.
over Lou Williams.
Oh, absolutely.
for sure.
But Lou, again, my argument for Lou Williams, I understand why he wanted to be in because when he does those minutes, he's a ball. He's a scorer.
Yeah.
He scores like heavy, like and he can do it
Yeah.
at his size. But he's been playing on the bench up until some injuries plagued the Clippers. So he's been playing against bench guys, scoring a lot, which is fine. But
Can rookies not be eligible to be an All-Star?
They have
Oh.
their rookie game, don't they?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
have
have
the
the rookie
rising
showcase.
stars or whatever.
So that's why they don't do
How
it.
about
Okay.
Devin Booker? He got snubbed as
I
well.
love Devin
Dude,
Booker, dude.
yes,
He's-
Devin
he's
Booker.
stuck down in
Hurt,
Phoenix, dude.
But the other
Dude, he's a
NBA
beast.
players across the league, they know the numbers he puts
Yeah.
up. They
Oh,
know
they
how
do.
good
He gets the respect. I'm telling you right
yeah,
now.
he gets the
You
respect.
can't
Young
just
man.
if you can score in the 70s at his age in
dope.
any game ever. I don't care if you're in
It's
a
cool.
community center. You're great at basketball. Like
Hassan Whiteside.
in an NBA
He was
game.
playing in the Y a few years ago.
Shit, now look at him getting injured all over the
I know.
area.
Well, I mean, he signed a $120 million contract. Better take
Shit.
care of those knees. I think within the next year or two, I think we'll trade him. I feel like the Heat will
The
kind of
market's
it.
going to be the market
The
is
big
low.
man market is unless he can
A
evolve
bit-
and
who
start
can
shooting
shoot.
threes.
Yeah, he can't shoot.
I don't think.
Ah.
But I mean,
He
Spoelstra
has-
is
there's
a very
still- there's
Spoelstra's
still
a good
room.
coach, and he utilizes him very well. But I don't know how long he can get
Dude,
away
he-
with doing
He
that.
ain't going to be able to play mid 30 minutes
No.
for an entire
Dude,
season. There's
he'll be a
literally no
great
way.
fill-in guy
Oh,
for
a
a team
championship.
that's making a playoff
You're right.
run. He can play
Yeah.
17
Yep.
minutes.
You can
rip-
bring him in
rip 10
situationally.
boards.
He
Yeah.
could be the
Oh,
person like
oh.
JaVale McGee that goes to a Golden
Yes.
State Warrior type team and kind of
Money.
gives
Yes,
you that
huge.
rim protection when you need it.
Perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
he can
down
come
the
in
road.
and be the
I mean,
be
he's
the
still
eraser.
a monster. He's a monster, and
he just can't stay on the court and play.
yeah,
That's
it's
lately,
weird.
As of late, though, he's
As
gotten-
of late, he's been stepping it up, and he's played more team oriented. But
I still don't trust his body and some of the
No.
stuff. Some
He's
of the stuff
injured all
that
the
comes
time.
out about his attitude is stuff that I don't.
you want to
necessarily
know
like either.
who for the Heat has been a good signing?
we are
that I'm,
talking about the
shocked?
Heat
I'm
again.
sorry,
the Miami
But-
circle jerk here.
Kelly Olynyk. As much as I don't like him, he's actually kind of been paying dividends for the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
contract he
Oh, yeah.
signed. And I
don't trust them.
I don't like
Trust-
him. I can't. I look at him and I'm like, I kind
you
of
look
get
and you
angry.
see yourself.
and I'm like,
yeah, you're like,
Oh.
I remember
oh
that.
my gosh.
Oh,
But I'm
that's so
just,
funny.
I don't know. I don't like his style
He's
as
an
a player.
he's an all right role player.
He's an all right role
All right,
player.
he gets it
but,
done.
But for
He
what?
basically
great-
single-handedly won that series or that game against the Wizards in the
Oh,
playoff last year,
yeah.
where he had like 30 or some points
Yep.
and he just went off. So I mean,
He's
you gotta be
he's
good
Fruity
enough.
O's. He's not Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
seriously.
Fruity O's.
yeah.
But yeah.
I also wanted to mention the fact that New Orleans Pelicans have 2 starters
Yeah.
in the All-Star game, and I believe there are a couple games above 500.
Yeah.
So what
But,
does
I mean,
that?
It's them.
But what does that mean? Does that mean that those 2 guys?
I think
even though
LeBron's
they're-
trying to tell them something subliminally.
No, I'm saying in general.
Hey,
to be
come play-
voted.
Hey, dude, I think you're this good. What are you doing down there in New Orleans, wasting away, going 25 and 25?
I'm saying for the Pelicans. What does that mean?
That
like,
means-
why does it? Why
that
are
means they're leaving.
They have 2 of the best 10 players voted in the NBA,
They need
and
to
they're
get
just
rid of Alvin
slightly above
Gentry.
500.
They need to get
Yeah.
rid of the head coach. As much as Anthony Davis likes him, he's obviously not
Look at the
doing
guys
what
around
they need
him.
to do.
Drew Holiday's a
Drew
nice
Holiday
piece.
is
Yeah.
a baller.
Yeah.
But
But that's-
just like Mark Jackson with the Warriors,
But
they
you
were
can't-
there, but they weren't
Yeah.
right there.
They can't, but you can't be top heavy like
Something
that.
about
Huh.
Steve
Dude,
Kerr.
those guys number
took 'em over the
10,
top.
those last few role players are what win you titles. Like an aging Andre Iguodala who that's what one.
But I don't think Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins are in a role-playing position at this point in their careers.
They need role players. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
they need
that's
role
what that
players.
team needs. Because
I thought you were saying they needed. I thought you meant they needed to transition to role play. Like, dude,
I'm feeding them all day.
Yeah, seriously, they are.
They've lost games too that are like.
DeMarcus Cousins just dropped 60 points in our fantasy basketball league on me. Jared has
he had
him.
like 40, 20. And
he had 40,
10.
20, and 10 or something. Like first person to do it since like Wilt or something.
Yeah, there's only like a handful of guys. Yeah.
It's Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem.
And then him.
Bill Jabbar, Elgin Baylor, Oscar Robertson.
He did it against the Bulls too, which doesn't surprise
He'll do it
me.
against anybody.
The Bulls,
bottom line, like he will do it against anybody.
He will.
I mean, if he gets going like that, he's a monster. You're not gonna stop him.
Dude, he's just shown you this year. Like people, when he was in Sacramento, he got hate for having a bad attitude. Tell me one thing he's done this year. He hasn't done it. It just shows that he did not feel like Sacramento was where he was supposed to be.
It was clearly the organization, and that organization's toxic. If you go to Sacramento, it's kind of a hole. I don't know.
Honestly,
seriously.
Even now they only have a couple of good young pieces. And I wanted to mention one of the biggest storylines going on right now in the NBA is the dismay inside of the Cleveland Cavaliers organization.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I've been literally itching for this show so that I can defend Kevin Love.
Yes.
Why? What does LeBron or whoever's pulling the strings, why does everyone not like Kevin Love?
I don't get it. He does what he needs to do. He's quiet. He performs unlike most of them on the court.
There's got to be something
and I
don't know.
Get it.
Like I don't understand.
Don't get it.
It was the whole thing about him being sick and he left that game and then everybody was like didn't believe him. They didn't think he was actually sick.
I'm sure
it's like the calling it sick.
And like there's a lot of complaints about LeBron and like playing with him and stuff. And I'm sure it's hard to play with him. Like
dude, my number one thing.
It was hard to play with Kobe. It was hard to play with Michael.
But my number one thing that like I don't dislike LeBron, but I hate all the subliminal, all the weird social media shit.
He goes at it a weird way. I don't like that either.
He screws with his team mentally. They go through any LeBron team goes through this exact thing every single year.
It didn't.
There's always something that he's like masterminding behind the scenes. It's like
it didn't happen in Miami because Pat Riley
Chris Bosh
was
in that same position.
But that was the media portraying him as
I don't know. That's a little bit of LeBron too, man.
There's the big 2.5.
Chris Bosh is arguably a Hall of Famer.
Oh no, he is a Hall of Famer.
Like
I
love Chris Bosh's game. I miss Chris Bosh. Here we are talking about
take away his titles in Miami and go back to him in Toronto.
Just one of his stat lines were incredible.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer hands down. If he would have stayed in Toronto and kept putting up those numbers and stayed with them his entire career and didn't win a title, he would still be going to the Hall of Fame.
Just because of the sheer numbers he put up.
Yeah, but for real.
I just think.
But no, I don't like that about LeBron either. That subliminal stuff. It's so.
Kevin, at least the perception is, from me, from somebody who Kevin Love in every interview is super polite. He's
very
always
business oriented.
I love his game. He may not be the best defensive player, but guess what? There's a million other players in the league that don't, specialize in defense. But he's going to get you. He's going to average almost 20 and 10. That's what he does. He's a 20 and 10 guy. You don't even have to play a lot of minutes, and he's right there. So now they're looking at getting George Hill from Sacramento because the Isaiah Thomas thing ain't working out.
Yeah. And they have Derrick Rose, and you know what? Derrick Rose hasn't been playing bad for them. I would almost say just start Derrick Rose and let him.
Or I like the George Hill.
I feel like Derrick Rose is at the point in his career, though, where he will do whatever to get back in to, like, people talking about him being a main contributor to a team. And if he can start on the Cavs and just do whatever LeBron wants. If he wants,
that's funny.
But that's what it boils down to. Like, play the style that he wants you to play, and you're still going to get your moments like Kevin Love does. And, Kevin Love still shines on the court. Granted, it gets overshadowed, but he still gets his numbers.
I don't think he's been in his natural position, though, lately.
They just moved him back. They announced they're moving him back to the 4.
And
they were
Tristan
playing
Thompson
him
at the center.
Yeah,
and he's not a guy who's going to sit in the low post and bang.
Tristan Thompson, IT pick and roll?
Yeah.
That's what they should be doing. And it's weird that it took them that long to do it.
Isaiah has
They did it with Kyrie, though, too. Kyrie and
They need Tristan.
Tristan
on
did some good.
They need him bad on defense
for
because their
real.
defense is awful.
Everything
about
about them. Everything
I think they're
about the
29
Cavs
out
is
of 30.
awful right now.
Well, I listened to multiple NBA podcasts and stuff, and it's like when you look at their roster, how many guys on their team are defensive oriented?
None of them.
Scores.
Jay Crowder
and
Shumpert's
LeBron
kind of used to. That's what I mean. There isn't. They don't have like a lockdown guy. They have an aging Dwayne Wade, 5'8" Isaiah Thomas, who's coming off an injury. So I don't know, man. That team is just making the East seem more and more wide open. I mean, I'll never bet against LeBron in a playoff series, but if it keeps going like this, they gave up 148 points.
If Gordon
to the Thunder.
Hayward comes back in like March or April, wherever he thought, and he comes back and can play, I mean,
look out, man.
And they're still
Celtics.
going through this crap.
Yeah,
no way the Cavs are getting past the Celtics.
I'm telling you, LeBron.
They'll still make the conference finals probably, but I mean,
LeBron ain't gonna let this stay like this.
Something's gonna happen.
He will make something happen.
But kind of sticking with teams that are under woes, we're not really sure what's going on with San Antonio right now, but rumblings
the whole
that
Kawhi
was
disgruntled,
and it's weird that it leaked out that he wasn't really happy. Did you see that?
I did.
Kid made we have a graphic on
Where
our Twitter.
is Kawhi?
Oh, you do?
I put him on a milk carton.
You did. He's
Put him
on a
on the
milk
back of a
carton.
milk carton.
That's hilarious.
Milk carton.
But yeah, it's always interesting to hear sort of some of those negative news coming from the Spurs.
It's
They're
weird.
thinking Kawhi.
They're still 32-18 though.
Yeah,
And
that's what I mean. They can do.
It's crazy.
They're just an organization who's rock solid at the structure.
I heard Brian Windhorst yesterday on NBA Countdown on ESPN. He said, "We'll know if there's an issue if when it comes this summertime in July when they offer him his new contract, if they give him the supermax of $219 that they can offer, and he takes it, obviously things are okay.
Yeah.
But if he walks,
I think it's being blown out of proportion.
It probably is.
I think
it's just because there's something actually happening
there.
with the Spurs
That's what I mean.
organization,
and
so
with
people
Kawhi
are
Leonard,
jumping
who's
on
been. I mean, he's so quiet.
He's
he never causes problems.
Yep.
He just wants to get on the court, and I don't
wants
think
to play.
in the San Antonio Spurs,
their way is not that.
Their medical team is just not on
Pop
the same
has
page
that
as what
shit
Kawhi is.
under wraps, and if he
Pop
thinks there's
always
an
does,
issue,
dude.
he's gonna bench you until he thinks you are fine.
Because guess what? They like Kid just said. What are they? 32 and 18.
32
but
and 18.
you also risk it if you bench him too long. Is he gonna be rusty coming back for the playoffs because you sat him for the first 6 months?
He's not gonna get into that mid-season form.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'll never doubt the Spurs.
Yeah, this happened last year. Kawhi was hurt and came back for the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think he played it out pretty well.
He had one of his best offensive seasons last year. So efficient. I mean, the guy's game goes to a next level seriously every single year. Every single year.
I kind of want to transition to the
couple more things before we wrap up.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Just got the Bulls and Heat outlook, and then maybe some fantasy stuff. But as far as the Bulls, what do you expect of them? I know this year is more of. I mean, you guys are in a not necessarily rebuilding.
Not anymore.
You kind of like.
I'm telling you, dude.
You're more in like a
Know.
restructuring. You're trying to figure out lineups and who meshes with who. Right now,
it's honestly
it's looking more towards like
so
next year.
Fun. This has
They're
been
a fun
an
team,
incredibly fun year.
Like
for me.
That's what's crazy.
Dude.
They're 18 and 30, not even in a playoff run, but they're a fun.
Dude,
team
I'm telling
to
you,
watch.
if we can hit our stride and Zach LaVine's, because he's still I believe on a 25 minute restriction. We're easing him in because he is a big piece of our future. Lowry Markkanen.
Gains 20 pounds over the off season, comes back.
Dude, Lowry Markkanen
stacked.
is even he's even slashing and dunking over guys.
Yeah, he's gonna.
And he looks like he's 17.
It's crazy.
Get a haircut. His hair is terrible.
Have you seen him with a buzzed head?
No, you did. I remember you said that.
He's
Dude,
not
his
a
hair,
very
his hair is
trustworthy
bad.
looking guy with a buzzed head.
But at least the outlook for me is I like the players we have.
Yeah.
Again, we're just like the Bears where we're just not quite there, but I think we're on the upward trajectory. I am not nearly as pissed off at Fred Hoiberg as I was. I realized last year he had a weird roster.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Dwayne Wade, I love him to death as a player. We have him in both.
He literally used Chicago and he used that organization to get that money that Miami wasn't going to give him.
But we wanted him. I bought his jersey.
You guys wanted him, but
I loved watching him play, but he basically
everything
was like a
blew up.
speed bump for that year. That year was just like hey, we have Dwayne Wade.
We have Dwayne
Like-
Wade. That was like a selling point for almost tickets and
Yeah,
stuff.
it was.
We have Dwayne Wade. Hometown
Buy my
guy.
jersey. I bought a jersey. So
Yep.
yeah.
We got the 2 Wade jerseys
Yeah.
up. And then
I just noticed that too.
to be honest, Miami's sitting in the 4 seed right now.
They're tough
27
out,
and
dude.
20. Who's right above them? The 3 seed? The Cavs. 27 and 19. To be a Heat fan and LeBron left, I still like LeBron. I still follow the Cavs. Like, I want him to win as many titles as he can before he retires because he's awesome. But to see us 1 game back, if we go into the playoffs like a higher seed than the Cavs,
That would be incredible.
that would be so badass. Even if we can, my hopes is that we just hold on to this level of play and can be in the playoffs. That's just my goal. But if somehow, like, it's seeing that we're 1 game behind the Cavs it's weird for my brain.
The East is definitely not as deep,
It's
but it's so interesting to think because to the regular fan of the NBA, I guarantee they couldn't name 1 player on the Heat.
No.
They don't have any big name guys.
Other
They
than
really
Whiteside and Dragic, there's not
They got
really
a
big names.
Richardson.
don't. I like Josh Richardson.
Yeah, Josh Richardson is a standout
dude, he
guy.
plays like 40 minutes a night.
Yeah.
They consistently, Spoelstra can consistently, he can be out there because he's a great defender. He has nights where he shoots. He does everything along the board.
Check
and
this
he's not
out.
afraid to take a step back either.
76ers finished with a better record than the Heat this season.
Ooh.
23 and 21. That's your bold
You
prediction.
got $5 on it?
Yeah.
We'll talk.
I'll just say, I'm just gonna think. I
Interesting.
think the Sixers are only getting better.
True.
They were
they're
slumping
finding
there,
their stride.
and Ben Simmons is finally playing good again. And
Yep.
He's
that's
gonna win
key
Rookie of the
dude,
Year.
When
Like, if he doesn't, I'm gonna riot.
well, Rookie of the Year,
Dude,
Donovan Mitchell. But
dog.
I mean, dude,
He's
Ben
not gonna win it over Ben Simmons.
Ben just
dude.
went like
everybody
Ben
loves
just went 18,
Ben
16,
Simmons.
Yeah,
and
he
14
just
or
had-
something
yeah.
stupid.
Just had
Just had a
his
chip
5th
dub.
triple double.
You can't really guard the guy. He's
Yeah,
a
he's
10
tough.
point
Baller.
guard.
I was just
You know
like
who
I, say
I would-
sag off
He's
of him,
he's
but-
0 for 8 from the 3-point line
Yeah.
this year.
yeah, that's
You know
bad.
who
You
I
need
would,
to,
hilarious.
need to get that shot.
You know who I would suspect to be more? They're 26 and 21, and I would expect them to be more around like.
Washington.
I know it's I would expect them to be more around like 29 wins, maybe 30 right now. Just
Bradley
with their
Beal
team and
is
Bradley
the
Beal's
best.
how
taking a
long
step.
they've
Not
been
best
together.
guy in the NBA.
Darius keeps
You're
trying
so
to get
right.
Bradley Beal from me. He keeps
Dude.
on trying to get him.
Bradley
him and
Beal's
John Wall.
really freaking
Yeah.
good.
John
at
Wall hasn't
basketball.
been that great this year.
No,
he's
he's
definitely-
kind of dealt with some stuff, and he's been on and off the court. I've noticed quite a bit.
But it's Bradley Beal's taken the reins of that team.
Yeah,
Like he really has. And people always thought like, oh, Bradley Beal's like injury like prone.
and he's
well,
not.
guess what?
It kind of
Like,
seems more like now they've swapped
he
roles,
is
and John
solid.
Wall's more
Yeah.
injury prone. At
John
least
Wall
this
has
year,
had a lot of lingering
owning
injuries.
both of them in fantasy, I've had to sit John Wall due to injury quite a bit this year. I've had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
God, I want to smack my head against the
Bradley
table right
Beal,
now
okay,
thinking
Bradley
about it.
Beal's only 24 years old.
That's what I mean.
I
When
feel
we
like
did
he's
the-
almost in an Oladipo situation where he needs
Yeah.
his own.
his own
Yeah.
dude. He
team.
does. It's
It
or the
needs
own
to be-
perception of his
it
team
needs to
because
be-
it's perception. It's Wall's team.
Yeah,
Yeah, perception is Walls. But
Yeah,
it's almost
he's-
it's kind of weird for him to be the focal point when he's like a shooting guard.
Yeah, because he
It'd
doesn't
be
have
like
the ball in
Klay
his
Thompson
hands,
wanting to break off
Yeah.
and be, you know.
which my argument is Klay Thompson was like on the Charlotte Hornets, he would average like 35 points
Yeah.
a game.
Yeah, he would
He'd
be
al-
like
he'd-
Kevin Love
he would
was.
be
On,
already
he would be like
shot.
Kevin
Dude,
Love
yeah.
on Minnesota.
Yeah, just
He'd average
chunky
35,
stats,
and
yeah.
he'd probably get like 5 and 5 of something other assists.
Yeah.
or some other stats, and
Mhm.
he'd probably be like an 8 seed all the time or something like
Yeah.
that. You know,
It
and that's
takes-
no knock on him, but it just.
you take a step
it
back when you
takes-
want to be on a championship
You know,
level team.
and part of me doesn't even feel like Curry is that type of person where, like, I feel like the Warriors drafted so well and they were such a good, perfect
they
blend.
drafted for like their team. They didn't draft just for the skills.
Yeah,
They
it was
drafted
like
for the team mentality.
like Durant came in and that is Durant's team. Like, it's weird. But
well, it's
I
kind
mean,
of Steph still.
It's kind of
Steph's-
Steph still.
Yeah, I mean, we're not on the West Coast, so we
No.
don't know. But I'm
No.
telling you, I'm pretty sure from the hardcore Golden State fans, it's still
I'm sure
Steph's
hardcore
show.
Golden
Yeah.
State fans will still
because
tell you it's
they
Steph
drafted
Curry.
him. He's their hometown
But-
guy. Like,
But like from the perception, like it does, like for me, Curry doesn't seem like a Michael Jordan or a Kobe to where I
Right.
mean you can obviously build around them,
assassin.
but like I don't think that he's going to be by himself carrying a team to the playoffs and doing anything
not
like
a lot
that.
of not a lot of players can.
No, and not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah, takes.
But you get
star.
obviously you get a couple other good people with some high IQs that don't care about necessarily the major thing that other people care about, like a Draymond that wants to do more of he wants to stop
shit.
you.
Yeah.
And he wants to get in your face and
he
then
wants
to
you on
pass.
the defensive end.
Yeah, and I mean, you get people that want to play like that with somebody like Steph Curry.
That's
and
when
obviously they're
going to
hit the basically
jackpot.
be unstoppable. But yeah, it's just.
You want to talk about a little bit of fantasy?
Yeah,
just some fantasy standouts.
Who's been a standout and who has been a disappointment for you or somebody else that you've noticed?
Well, I'll start, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a big standout on our team.
Like a
Or like
standout
a
on your team or a
waiver
standout
ad
on
or-
somebody else's team that you've noticed that you're like, damn, I wish I would have.
I was going to say
drafted him."
Bradley Beal again because just
Yeah,
along the same
man,
line.
Beal
I'm
or-
playing you this week,
Yeah.
and he's just crushes it every time. He's probably your best player, honestly.
Yeah. Holy crap.
But for me,
I've made kind of a comeback on you.
yeah, but I have a lot of guys still.
You're
to
done.
go.
Dude.
Surprise! I have a couple of rookies that I really liked. John Collins, the player not even a lot of people know about
Yeah.
because he's on the Atlanta Hawks, but I've held on to him for a really long time because I know he doesn't even get that many minutes. In 26 minutes, last game against Toronto, he had 13 points and 16 rebounds. So like when he gets the minutes, he's a stat stuffer.
Yeah.
And those are the guys you want on fantasy. So I think
Yeah.
his outlook's only higher. I have Donovan Mitchell, who I got super lucky with. He's had a couple of slower games, but and someone who's been less than I expected was definitely I drafted Yusuf Nurkic pretty high. I needed centers, and I thought on Portland towards the end of the season last year he was killing it.
Yeah.
And just he started out this year really slow. He's pretty inconsistent again. He's not a center who shoots threes, so he's in certain matchups he's sort of just kind of he's an afterthought on the bench, but
Yeah.
when he gets minutes he has really good games, but just would like to see some more consistency. What about you guys?
Standout guys?
Yeah.
Oh, man. On my team, not on my team.
Somebody
I mean,
you're like, dang, that guy is
not to beat the
good.
hell out of DeMarcus Cousins, but
Yeah.
obviously there's domination taking place in the NBA right now, and he is guilty of that.
Yeah, he's a monster.
On my team in general, I mean, one guy that flies under the radar a lot is Kyle Lowry. He doesn't really get much love.
He doesn't get a lot of
He's
the love.
not a fantasy monster, although
He has been,
he'll
dude.
put up a 38
Yeah.
burger,
Mhm.
but he usually rides basically a 20 every night. Yeah.
For me, for somebody who's standed out, I added this
Stood
guy.
out?
Stood out for me as of late.
Ding.
The last couple years, he's burned me.
Burner.
I want to say the last 2 seasons, not including this one, year before and the year before
You're
last.
totally
I
gonna
drafted
bring him up again, are you?
I drafted him.
Kelly Olynyk.
No. I drafted
He
him.
literally talks about this player every single show. I feel
Riley just farted and it smells so bad. But I dropped this
Mason
guy.
Plumlee.
It's Mason Plumlee.
He's not good. Why do we talk about him so
No.
much?
He's not good, but
He's
he's
not
good
very
for
good.
fantasy.
Get it
Okay?
over with.
And he was drafted by Jarnold. Jarnold dropped him within a
Oh, it was
month.
terrible, dude. He
I
shouldn't even have
him-
been drafted.
No, he shouldn't
He
have been
was
drafted.
buried on a Nuggets roster.
I added him on December 24th.
Because I
Okay.
believe that was when Jokic was injured and he
Yep.
was starting.
So
And
Just-
yeah,
I added him on the 24th. So
day before Christmas.
from the 26th till the 25th today, he has only had
In our point system,
in our point system,
which
he has
probably
only-
doesn't mean
Which is a
anything.
stressful point system.
Yeah,
it's
very
we
stressful.
a very abusive point system.
okay. Well, do you want it more rewarding? You want it to be higher?
No, I mean for other people, I mean
They don't do.
They don't do
the
minus one
the
for
missed
stuff.
basket thing is
Yeah,
a headache.
I don't like that either. But
It's
I've wanted to
Dude, I'm
change it.
telling you.
No.
But we can't because then it takes away knowledge of the game. You need to
does.
know
Yep.
people that have
Shooting.
good shooting percentage.
Shooting
and
is
You
shit.
can't just have a
like,
guy
we
who's
have to. That's
you can't
why I
reward.
don't.
Okay, so that means Russell Westbrook's the best guy in all of fantasy every time.
Yeah,
because
he
he
does
can
it,
miss
yeah.
20 shots a game and he still gives you insane.
So we
points.
have to keep it like that.
I like it.
I'm
It is
down-
stressful,
No, yeah.
but it
It
keeps
is
you
stressful,
honest.
But it keeps you honest and it keeps people on their toes.
It does.
But since I've added, there's a couple games missing here from whatever, the 25th or whatever. But from the 26th of December till now, he's only had 3 games under 12 points. One of them he had 1 he had 3, 1 he had -5. And then
-5.
2 of them are 12, 1 13, everything
been
else is
all
15
right.
more. He's been, for me, grabbing him late, like,
Yeah.
think about all the injuries I've fucking had this year.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to drop an F-bomb, I'm sorry, but my season has
I'll
been riddled
bleep
with
it out.
injuries. Yeah, bleep it out. But I've just had such bad luck with injuries this year that when I grabbed him, I was like, dude, just do it. Like tonight, it's in the second quarter. He's got 15 so far.
Yeah.
Like, I
Because
mean,
he's starting now, but
for me, he's been a standout guy so
Yeah.
far, and I'm glad that I didn't give up on him or whatever.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
picked him up, and I'm like, screw it, I'm going to do it. I didn't even really have anybody, so I needed him. Well, yeah, and as far as disappointment, but I can't seem to drop the guy, is Ryan Anderson. And he just
because
goes
he'll
on.
put on a huge game and
He's
then
on the
he'll
Rockets
dead.
to where he gets the looks and the opportunities. He gets 28,
Well, it's
almost
the Rockets,
29
it's always
minutes.
somebody different, like one of those.
I
It's
know.
always- It's either
And
or
so I
Eric,
just-
Eric Gordon has a good game.
Trevor Ariza.
He's kind of just been disappointing because he's so hit and miss. I thought with being kind of a bigger guy that he'd get more. I don't know. It's just he's kind of been disappointing, but I can't seem to drop him because he's only averaged like 12 points a game through the whole season, but there's nights where he'll give you 25.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I mean, as far
that's
as
gonna do it for us.
as far as helmets and headbands, that kind of wraps it up for the show.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Go
Another
check
one.
Go
Yeah.
check out
Another
our
one.
other episodes under Fine Point Podcast Network. Log on. We had a really funny hot wing challenge.
yeah.
Oh, you gotta watch the hot
We had a
wing one.
cool interview with Paige Pierce on a couple episodes back
Yep.
of our Under the Basket disc golf show. We
Got
have a
another
Nick
one
Dan
coming up.
Nick Duran interview coming up. So got a lot of stuff on our podcast network. Hope you guys find
bunch
something
of
you
cool
enjoy.
shit in the
Um,
works. Oh,
thanks for
also
stopping
$25
Oh, yeah,
subscriber. I got it right here.
Yep.
Hey,
Drop it.
$25 Visa gift card. We just hit 100 subscribers. Thank you,
Thank
everybody,
you.
for doing that.
That's awesome.
thank you for the
It's
support.
sick.
We love it.
Love you
Yeah, we
guys.
really do. So we got the gift card, $25. Leave a comment under a video that we will post, and we'll let you know all that good stuff.
More information will be
again.
coming.
We will see you next week.
Peace.